Oh, cool. So, hey, Kayla. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about, I don't know what we're talking about specifically, but you might find out. This is interesting because it is that semitone, it definitely is the semitone feel that's altering between the notes. Sorry, multitasking and failing. That won't do the job. So we'll just look at it. This is the bar, by the way. What key are we in? G flat. Cool. G flat. And it's interesting because what's the bass note? Maybe just worry about the top one. Don't worry about the second one. It's all right. Little seeker is just an octave. It's all good. Yeah, it's an F. It's all relative, you know? So it's like it's the 7 of something, right? But at this point, it's not really. It's the 7 of G flat major 7, as we were touching on before. But right now, it's not functioning as a 7. It's actually functioning as a 5. It's a dominant chord. So really, if that F is a dominant chord, what is it wanting to pull us toward? Is the question. It's the magic question. B flat, which is a 5th below F. Okay, so the F is the dominant, and generally dominants want to pull us to a tonic, which is the 1, and we need to work out a perfect 5th below F, and that is our B flat. So although we're in the key of G flat, the actual tonal center is more leading towards B flat. Which is an interesting point because the previous song we were in D flat, and the tonal center was B flat. Yeah? Yeah, I'll spell that out now. Sorry, I just took it for granted. Let's keep working on this chord. So right now it's F. I'm going to look at what else is being built in the right hand. That's what will tell me. Okay? Sorry, I skipped a step. My bad. Right now, this is an interesting one, isn't it? So I'm going to work it out from the top down. G flat, E flat, C natural. That natural sign is there because the key signature is telling us to play C flat, but the chord requires you to play C natural. So instead they'll put a natural sign in front of it. A natural. Again, this key signature just says A flat, but this is an A natural chord. So I'm going to try do my share screen one more time and see if it wants to behave, because being able to see the keyboard is really imperative. Now you see this beautiful plant. It is music. Everything is music. What sound is that, by the way? Inherently off the bat, what do you hear? How would you describe its color or sonority or tonality? It's diminished. So one step away from our minor. Just like that sound. That was great. It's in key and everything. Oh, sorry, say that one more time, Beck. There is a tritone, actually. Yeah, the tritone's in diminished chords rather than augmented chords. Tritones don't exist in augmented chords. But can you find me the tritone? To the C. So we said? I'll take it. G flat to C. There's my tritone. It's also, if you look at it an octave up, it's being spelt out between the C and the F sharp. Give me another tritone. Yeah, cool. A. Yeah, in this case it's an E flat, just to be a pedant. So we can guarantee one. So that's an A to D, A to E flat. Daniele, what are you doing? I don't know. Good. He's lost the plot. He's going into his personalities now, which is not a good time. So we've got G flat to a C, tritone, A to an E flat, tritone. So really, diminished chord is made up of two tritones, which creates its dissonant sound. Okay? So, how do I know it's a dominant chord? How do I know? Firstly, I've got the low F. Okay, so that gives me the tonic. Sorry, that gives me the root note of the chord. And now I need to work out my other notes. That A natural is a major third interval. So already it's a major chord, okay? The C is the perfect fifth. Cool, all right. F major chord. But there's a bit of other business going on, okay? E flat. What interval is the E flat to the F? This guy. Yeah. -7. Yeah. And what is it? What is a -7 when we have a major chord underneath it? Yeah. I asked that in a bit of a tricksy way. So, major chord, -7 interval from the root note, that's a dominant chord. It's a dominant 7. It's not a major 7. That's a major 7. Major 7s are generally tonic chords. They're generally home chords. They don't have a strong gravitation to somewhere else. Dominant chords have a gravitation to the fifth below that chord. They have a strong pull to that chord that is a fifth below. Not only that, I've then got this guy. That is a flattened 9. Because the 9 is a G, but the note that it wants is a G flat, which is a flattened 9th. So if I was to write this out, hopefully my screen share is working. It's not working. Oh well. At least the piano is still. Yeah, diminished chords are a great way to increase your finger flexibility. Your FF, as I like to say. So they require quite an unusual way of spreading the fingers, especially because it's a diminished chord with the octave above. That requires quite a huge stretch. So the first question was like, it's an F in the bass, and then I built the chord above, and I'm like, cool, all right, so it's an F7 flat 9. When I have an F7 chord, or just a something 7 chord, not a -7, not a major 7, just a da-da-da 7, okay, it's going to be a dominant chord, and it's going to have a strong pull to the perfect fifth below. So that F7 wants to pull down to my B flat minor, not B flat major. I won't go into the whys of that, just because it's a bit, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. So, in order for me to find out how it's a dominant chord, I need to find out what kind of chord it is. So, for example, I'm going to just build the notes from the lowest note to the top note. But firstly, I need to work out whether I need to start by identifying if I can find any thirds. If I can find a third, that will tell me instantly whether it's a minor or a major chord. So relative to F, what is my third? What is my major third? A, and what's my minor third? A flat. So I look at this piece of music and I can see that I'm going to look at my third first, because that will tell me everything. Okay? There is no A flat. There's an A major. Sorry. There's an A natural. Okay? So already, without knowing anything else, the chord is going to be a major chord. Could be an augmented. Maybe I'll find out that actually there's a C sharp in there. But my next step will be, can I find a fifth? Can I find the perfect fifth? What is the perfect fifth to F? C. Okay, so I hunt for a C. There's a C. Cool. We're sort of reverse engineering here. Usually you'd see the chord symbol first and then work your way backwards. Or work your way, whatever. This way I'm looking at the notes and trying to determine what chord that is. It's just slightly more difficult and will require a bit of practice. So right now, F major. Cool. Of course, there are more notes here. Now, instead of hunting for the notes, pardon the somewhat pun, I'm going to see what notes I have remaining and then work out what they are relative to F. So remaining, I've got an E flat. Bam. That's my dominant 7 chord. That's an F7. It's a minor 7 interval, and the interval is the distance between one and another note, but it is not a minor 7 chord. A minor 7 chord is determined by the third. Yeah. So right now it's a dominant chord. Just like, I've worked it out. That's it. That's the end. Does that clarify things a little bit? And then a flattened 7. Yeah, that's it. That's it. No. It's a weird. It's a sort of dark area. There's so many different ways of looking at it, and this is going to destroy your brains even more. But it's one thing to function as a dominant, and then it's another thing to be a dominant. So right now, this chord is a dominant and is also functioning as a dominant. For something to be functioning as a dominant, it's talking about the role that the chord has. And if a chord is functioning as a dominant, it's generally going to lead you back to the tonic. That's function. Functional harmony is all about where am I going, where am I, and yeah, where am I going? Eventually. Or at least that's what we want to hear. So that's like, it's all about where do we want it to go. Funnily enough, it is the tonic. Funnily enough, it is the tonic. It actually goes by so quickly that it's not perceived as the tonic, just to be an absolute smartass. See, it goes die, 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 because the F is pedaling. For something to pedal, it's a recurring idea or note that is constant. That F is... It's creating so much strength and pull that it's giving you no sense that we're home, we're resolved. Even though the right hand eventually plays a B flat minor chord, but the root note is not a B flat because it's just a variation of the F dominant. you know? So it's all that sort of like, how far can I tease this idea and pull it apart to mess with the listener? And in this case, we're thinking about the scene as hunters and it's all dramatic and stuff. Drammatico, it says, which is a lot of Seussical is quite pastiche. It's a bit on the nose to indicate tempo text with drammatico when the music is quite clearly dramatic. But it's just to kind of go a little bit further than you would naturally. That's how I would see that. So the drama is being created by so many different things. What are they being created by? Let me tell you. So I change my share screen. All right, sorry to keep changing things on you guys. Let's talk about orchestration, okay? So harmony itself can create tension, but it's not just the only thing, okay? It's harmony paired with many, many other things that will create tension. Harmony in rhythm, harmony in melody, harmony in color, timbre, harmony in dynamics. So many different facets of music all work together to eventually create the feeling of tension or release or whatever we're trying to create. So first and foremost, now the tempo text says drammatico, that's fine, no issues there. But I want to understand the accompaniment a little bit more as to why that's being created. I look at the left hand, the 3 lines that are occurring on a diagonal is referred to as a tremolo. Tremolo, and on a piano, you'd migrate between the notes, navigate between the notes. And when it has 3 lines, generally 3 lines is the most common way you'll see this. It's just as fast as you can. Generally, if I'm thinking about the orchestration for this piece, or what it could be, it's not orchestrated for this, not the version we did anyway. That sort of setting, this whole setting would be for strings, first and foremost, because strings are our pastiche kind of sound for drama and horror, and the tremolo sound is very much a sound you'll find on strings. So when they're playing it, they will alter their bow speed to create So what I'm doing there is a tremolo just on one note, but with the piano that's really hard. So for a piano conductor score, they just use 2 notes. But strings will play just over one note. Yeah. They can do a string tremolo. Yeah, they sort of alter between the pitch, or they can do it as a bowed. Yeah, that's my attempt. Furthermore, we've got an accent. Okay, that's an accent when we see that forward arrow. So I've got accent and I've got tremolo. Great, cool, strong. And then, and this will go into what I spoke about the other day, if you can recall, Jessica, about different voices in the stave. There's actually another voice happening here. So there's another voice going, data, 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 whilst the rest of the accompaniment is going, okay, so a couple of things here. The data has accents over it, so depending on the instrument, maybe clarinet or something. And then this moving line could be other strings as well. So there's a bit of chromaticism in there, which is to say the notes move just by a semitone. Some of them don't. but just the sheer notion of movement is going to create tension. So it's a combination of so many different things. It's got this low F, this moving line, and the flat 9. The flat 9 is inherently dissonant interval. As soon as you hear it, it's just not nice on the ears. It's like something's not quite right here. It's a very classical thing to do. So that's kind of how I would assess those bars. It's like a lot going on. Any questions on that? I don't know why you need to know that, but it's a bit interesting. Yeah. In terms of... yes. It's interesting. Generally when you're... I'd love it if someone brought this in for an audition piece. Horton. Or my question of like, will you do the dialogue? And they never tell me. And then they just don't. And I'm waiting, I would love it. Or like, are you going to do the cue dialogue? Will you speak before I play? And then they don't tell you, but they will do it. And you start playing and they start talking. And it's just very awkward. Anyway, it's such a time. As long as you told me, I'd be happy about it. There's cats go to the side because the wrestlers like, go out and hearted. You'd be like, Daniele, can you just play it in halftime? Yeah. 2-2 at a minimum equals 40? I'd say, go away. Leave me alone. All right, let's go back 5 bars or 6 bars or something as we wrap up. So the tonality at bar 50 is B flat, okay? Or it's centered around B flat. The low note is B flat. Yeah? Now here's where we get those little semitone dugalakis happening. Yeah. It's an interesting scale, actually. It's a Locrian. Yeah. Good pickup. So very, very, very similar to Phrygian. But it's actually based around the B major scale. So B major, great. Alter the bass note by a semitone. It changes a bit later. That's all right. Okay. And then something's about to happen. It's like, exactly. It's like, let me... Yeah. I'll repeat a little bit just because, so the mode is actually based on B major, B natural, yeah. But it's based on the 7th scale degree of B major, which is a B flat or an A sharp. That sound. Then it modulates, which is great. It's a good tone. So it keeps derailing the ear or the listener. The listener kind of goes, okay, I want resolution now, and then no resolution. I'll just try to find the piece that it moves to. It's such a long show. Completely. It's in here. 17B. So we've just gone from, that's our F dominant. And then we go to exactly. So here's, I'll leave you with this. We were playing the F dominant. Now F dominant wants to go to B flat, okay? It just inherently wants to go to B flat. Instead, we move to, the first chord there is an F major. Pretty much, it cancels out all the dominant nature of the chord and makes F the new home. So it got rid of that -7 interval, it got rid of that flat 9 interval, and then just went, you know what, F's our new home right now, so F's not going to be a dominant anymore, it's going to be a tonic. Which is hard to hear because the piece is quite brisk, you hear it within a few moments. That chord is dominant of F. It's a C7. And then we're in. And it's just a cute little soft shoe, sort of jazzy number. All right, friends, any final questions as our brains sort of come out of our ears? Go for it. Yep. It's still important to know what key you're in and what scale is played. Yeah. If you're just reading the chords, you're just reading the chords. I think it's more just good practice to just kind of have an understanding that I am in B flat minor, but B flat minor is related to D flat major. So it's just about not denying the facts. Say that one more time, sorry. Is totally in D flat major chord, is part of D flat major. All these chords are in D flat major. So I'll leave you with this last little major 7, which is just the scale degree 3 of D flat. So you'll be able to see the keyboard, but the sheet music hasn't loaded, so probably best. First chord's B flat minor. In D flat major scale, sorry. B flat minor is just the 6th chord. Then it goes to a G flat major chord. G flat major is just the 4th chord in D flat. In D flat. Done. The major 7 in G flat major 7, bear with me guys, is a 3rd in D flat, okay? But don't worry too much about that. Then the next chord is an A flat. A flat is just the 5 chord in D flat major. No, that was the scale. Correct. And that's what I want to encourage eventually, that you go, oh, okay, that's the -6, that's the 4, that's the 5, that's the 3 minor. Because then you could go, okay, I'm in C major now. -6, 4, 5, -3. And then all of a sudden you've transposed it. That's advanced. Well, it doesn't have to be advanced, but it's for those that are curious. Keep working on it. Cool, friends? Thanks for sticking around, guys. Really good session. Says me, who was just talking for the most of it. All right. I'll see you guys. That's Friday. Yeah, I'll be in touch if you guys are interested for more sessions. There'll be more next week because this is life now.